Here is a question that will haunt you until the end of this video. What is the difference between someone who walks into a casino with their rent money, sits at a slot machine and prays for a miracle, and you, grinding at your 9-to-5, scrolling for opportunities, hoping something finally pays off? The answer is nothing. The only difference is the lighting. When Baby Keem was a child in Las Vegas, he watched his mother walk into casinos with their rent money. She was not there for the entertainment. She was not there for the lights. She was there because she believed a single random event could solve a systemic financial problem. She was trading certainty for hope. She was not reckless. That was cornered logic. When you have bills and no structure between you and randomness, hope feels like the only rational move left. And most of you are running the exact same pattern right now. You just call it a career. You wake up every morning and trade your most limited asset, your time, on a system where the odds are mathematically stacked against you. You are not building anything, you are betting. And just like every casino ever built, the house is winning. Keem's new album, Casino, is a 36-minute confrontation with this cycle. Even the sonic architecture tells you what this project is really about. The production is built around slot machine sirens, alarm motifs, and 808 patterns that mimic the rise and fall of chance. That sound design is not aesthetic, it is metaphorical. The entire album sounds like the inside of a system designed to extract everything you have, while keeping you convinced that the next pull could change your life. But this is not a music review. This is a breakdown of the 5 levels of the casino, because right now, most of you are trapped at level 1, and you do not even know there is a back office. Level 1, the slot machine. This is where most people spend their entire lives. You show up, you pull the lever, you hope today is the day something changes. A raise, a promotion, a client who pays more, a viral moment. You are not executing a strategy, you are executing a prayer. There was a graphic designer in Atlanta who spent 4 years waiting for her breakout client. She had the skill, she had the portfolio. She applied to 67 jobs over 18 months. She got 4 interviews, 1 offer. It paid 12% less than her previous role. She was not bad at her work. She was playing a slot machine and calling it a career plan. The machine was never designed for her to win. It was designed to keep her pulling the lever. If your financial plan requires something outside your control to happen, you are gambling. That is level 1, and hope is the most profitable product the house has ever sold. Level 2, the poker table. Level 2 is the poker table. In the title track, Cash Iron, Keem uses a mid-song mood switch to show how the energy changes when the stakes get high. You aren't just pulling a lever anymore. You've entered the rage beat phase of your career. This is where skill enters the game. You have learned something valuable. You are better than the average player. You start earning more. And this is where something dangerous happens. Just like that beat switch, your lifestyle is about to flip.
A freelance copywriter in 2023 raised his rate from $75 to $150 an hour. Within 3 months, he upgraded his apartment, leased a new car, and started eating out 4 nights a week. His income doubled. His expenses doubled. His net position did not move a single inch. He was a better player at the table, but the table still owned him. In the world of strategic wealth, if you do not own equity, you are inventory. You are a more expensive line item on someone else's balance sheet, but you are still a line item. Most people who reach level 2 believe they have made it. They have not. They have become a higher value chip for someone else to play with. Level 2 is dangerous precisely because it feels like progress, but it is just a higher stakes dependency. Level 3 is the card counter. This is where the game shifts. A card counter does not rely on luck. They use a system to tilt the probability in their favor. In financial terms, this is the house money principle. Here is the concrete move. You take your first $5,000 of profit from any venture. You invest it. When it doubles to 10, you sell half. You put your original $5,000 back in your pocket. The remaining $5,000 is house money. It is now mathematically impossible for you to lose your principal. You have displaced your risk entirely. But house money is not only about investments. A 24-year-old content creator lands her first $5,000 brand deal. She does not upgrade her lifestyle. She spends $3,000 on equipment that increases her production quality and $2,000 on a freelance editor for 3 months. Within 60 days, her improved output lands 3 more deals at higher rates. She pulls her original investment back. Everything after that is house money. She is no longer gambling with her rent, she is playing with the casino's chips. When you play with your own rent money, every decision is driven by fear. When you play with house money, every decision is driven by logic. The goal of your entire financial life is to move your capital into a position where the world cannot take it back from you. Most people never reach level 3 because they spend their first surplus trying to look successful, instead of becoming impossible to destroy. Level 4 is the house. This is the pivot we see in the track I Am Not a Lyricist. It's the realization that being the talent isn't enough. You have to own the structure. At this level, you stop playing entirely. You take a percentage of every game on your floor. You own the system that others operate inside. This is what it looks like when you stop selling your time and start selling a system's output. You find people who have skill but cannot sell. You bring the clients, they execute the work, you take the margin. You are no longer sitting at the table, you are the table. Every transaction that moves through your system earns you a cut whether you are present or not. Most people never reach level 4 because they are addicted to being needed. They confuse effort with progress. The house does not need to play. The house collects. Level 5 is the builder. Keem says he could not move mountains, so he aimed for the pyramids. A mountain is a natural accident. It is luck, a random geological event that nobody designed. A pyramid is an intentional structure, heavy bricks placed in exact sequence with a singular purpose. Most people are waiting for their mountain, the viral moment, the lucky break, the one connection that changes everything. Builders do not wait, they stack bricks. An automated system that generates leads while you sleep is a brick. A skill that compounds in value every month you practice it is a brick. A relationship with someone whose strengths cover your weaknesses is a brick. Place enough bricks and the height of the pyramid is not a question of luck, it is a question of time. Builders do not wait for miracles, they manufacture inevitability. Now, I want you to remember something. Keem's mother walked into that casino because she had no system. She had bills and hope and nothing in between. She was at level 1. And every single day, millions of people repeat her exact pattern in different clothing. They sit in offices and pull levers and call it a plan. They feel behind. They blame themselves for not starting sooner. You are not behind, you are unstructured, and there's a difference that changes everything. Behind means you lost time you cannot recover. Unstructured means you have everything you need, but it is in the wrong order. Blame is friction. In physics, friction slows momentum. In finance, blame slows compounding. Every second you spend wishing you started earlier is a second you are not starting now. The house does not care about your history. It only cares about your current probability. Here is the framework. Stop gambling with your time. Displace your risk with house money. Build a system that earns without your presence. Own the table, then build new ones. Use your labor to buy assets. Use assets to buy leverage. Use leverage to buy your freedom. That is the sequence. That is how you walk out of the casino. The greatest risk you will ever face is never realizing you were the prize being gambled for. You thought you were playing the game. You were the asset. You are the liquidity for someone else's empire, the chips on their table, the rent money someone else is using to build their pyramids. The casino is always open. The lights never turn off. And right now, at this exact moment, you are either sitting at the machine hoping the next pull changes everything, or you are walking toward the back office to learn how the math actually works. Wealth is not a number in a bank account. It is the distance between you and the need for a miracle. So, which is it? Are you the gambler or the builder? Because once you see the casino, you can't unsee it, and most people prefer the lights. If you're done being liquidity for someone else's empire, subscribe. On this channel, we break down strategic wealth psychology. The next breakdown is about a character most have known since childhood, but never really understood. Bruce Wayne is a man of many talents, but in this video, I place him in a situation most would call unfortunate and walk you through step by step on exactly how he would make it back to the top. If you have ever wondered what makes Bruce Wayne Batman and how you can learn from that to implement it in your everyday affairs, click the video on your screen. See you in the next video.